You know what's wild? The fact that you're still standing, still breathing, still here, despite everything they threw at you. I've been watching this unfold, and honestly, I can't stop smiling because of what just happened, what they tried to do to you. You heard about it, right? The coordinated attack, the group effort, the actual coven they assembled just to take you down. Think about that for a second. Someone rallied an entire circle of practitioners, convinced them you were worth their combined energy, their shared resources, their collective hatred. They lit their candles in perfect symmetry, arranged their crystals with precision, spoke your name into the void like it was a curse that would finally stick. They were so certain this time, so absolutely convinced that their united force would shatter whatever protection you've been carrying. Days and nights of chanting, visualizing your downfall, pouring their envy and rage into a spell they believed would break you. But here's the part that makes this whole thing poetic. The part they never saw coming. Your guardian, that divine presence that's been with you through every storm, every betrayal, every moment you wanted to give up, didn't panic when their curse came flying, didn't even seem worried. Your guardian looked at their elaborate ritual, at their desperate attempt to manipulate forces beyond their comprehension, and actually laughed. Real laughter. The kind that comes from knowing something these amateurs will never understand. And then, with absolute confidence, with the certainty of someone who sees the whole board while they're stuck looking at one piece, your guardian whispered, "Let me show you how this really works." What happened next is the kind of thing they'll talk about in hushed voices for years. The moment the script flipped and the hunters became the hunted. See, they thought they understood the mechanics, thought curses were simple equations of intention plus ingredients, words multiplied by willpower. Each person in that circle contributed their piece, their fragment of jealousy, their portion of bitterness at your mere existence. Together they constructed what they believed was an unstoppable hex, layered with complexity, reinforced with blood and bone and concentrated hatred. They launched it toward you like a weapon designed to demolish everything you've built, everything you are, everything you're still becoming. But energy, true energy, the kind that moves through existence like lightning through storm clouds, doesn't bend just because someone memorized some phrases and bought supplies online. The universe recognizes authenticity, recognizes alignment, recognizes souls carrying light, not because they stole it, but because they earned it by walking through fire. And your guardian wasn't protecting you out of some obligation or duty. Your guardian was protecting you because you've become something these people cannot comprehend. A frequency so pure, so genuinely aligned, so authentically transformed that their darkness couldn't even find anywhere to land. Their curse hit your energy field and evaporated like smoke in wind, like ice under sunlight, like lies confronted with truth. Your guardian didn't stop at deflection though, because real protection isn't just about blocking, it's about reflection, about returning energy to its source with compound interest. So while these practitioners sat there feeling powerful, feeling accomplished, feeling certain, their combined force had finally brought you down. Your guardian redirected everything they sent, not as revenge, not as punishment, but as education, as consequence, as the universe's methodology for teaching lessons that clearly needed learning. That's when their comfort ended, really ended. Suddenly, their candles started acting strange, flames moving in patterns that defied logic, wax pooling into symbols they'd never seen. Their sleep turned hostile, not with images of you, but with mirrors. infinite mirrors reflecting their own faces, their own jealousy, their own hollowness, staring back. They began feeling watched, followed, haunted not by you, but by their own intentions, circling back like vultures. Tools malfunctioned, relationships cracked, plans disintegrated, and through every collapse, they kept asking the same terrified question: what did we just attempt to touch? Because this is what they learned too late. When you target someone genuinely protected, someone who earned their armor through authentic transformation, you're not just challenging that person, you're challenging every force in existence that recognizes real growth, real power, real light. You're starting a war with something infinitely larger than your petty resentment and borrowed rituals. Let's examine the truly fascinating part. The part where their coven started unraveling from within. Group curses, demand unity, require every participant maintaining identical frequency, shared intention, unwavering commitment to the darkness they're manifesting. But when that energy boomeranged back, when the universe said absolutely not and returned their malice with interest, fractures formed in their precious circle. Instantly, they weren't united warriors anymore. They were individuals realizing they'd made an irreversible mistake. The strongest among them felt it first, that sinking weight in their chest, that knowing they'd crossed a boundary with no way back. Second thoughts arrived like uninvited guests, physical illness when contemplating what they'd attempted. Sleep became impossible. Not from nightmares, but from the crushing awareness that they'd tried to harm someone whose only crime was existing too brilliantly. The weaker ones panicked, started crafting excuses, started creating distance from the operation. I never believed it would actually work, they'd claim. Or, I was only observing, I didn't really participate, which everyone knew was fiction. But fear rewrites memory, makes people scramble for plausible deniability when consequences start knocking at the door. And the truly foolish ones, those incapable of admitting error, they doubled down, attempted to cast again, tried reinforcing their collapsing curse. But this time, the blowback arrived instantly, like grabbing live current. They felt it in their marrow, in their bloodstream, in their soul. The unmistakable message screaming that they needed to stop, needed to surrender, needed to accept they'd chosen the wrong target. Let me tell you something about your guardian. These practitioners catastrophically underestimated. Something that makes their curse attempt look like toddlers swinging plastic swords. Your guardian isn't passive, isn't sitting somewhere hoping you make wise choices. Your guardian is strategic, tactical, operating with cosmic intelligence that makes human manipulation look like finger painting. When their curse came hurtling toward you, your guardian had already mapped 17 different responses, 17 ways to not just deflect, but transform this attack into your greatest catalyst. Because that's genuine protection, not merely blocking the strike, but weaponizing the enemy's force against them, converting their attack into your testimony. Your guardian watched this coven gathering, saw them pooling their spite and thought, perfect. They're about to provide exactly the demonstration this soul needs to fully inhabit their power. Your guardian understood something you're only beginning to grasp, that you've been playing small, been too cautious, too worried about making others comfortable. Your guardian recognized this attack as the ideal catalyst to incinerate any lingering doubt about who you truly are and what you're genuinely capable of becoming. So while they chanted your name with hatred, your guardian wove a counter spell so elegant, so perfectly orchestrated, it would leave them not just defeated, but fundamentally altered. Your guardian didn't simply return their curse, too predictable, too human. No, your guardian transformed their negative energy into fuel for your ascension, cosmic alchemy, transmuting their lead into your gold. Every drop of jealousy they sent became clarity for you. Every shard of hatred became healing. Every strand of malice became momentum. You've noticed you feel different lately, haven't you? Opportunities materializing from nowhere. Your intuition sharpened until you can read energy like text messages. People who used to intimidate you now seem transparent and insignificant. That's their curse operating in reverse. That's your guardian taking their darkness and forging your breakthrough. They attempted to dim your light and instead provided your guardian raw materials to construct a spotlight. They tried binding your progress and instead supplied the resistance you needed to develop spiritual muscle. They tried isolating you and instead cleared everyone not meant for your next chapter. Your guardians seized their worst intentions and used them as construction materials for your empire. Now that's cosmic justice. That's protection that doesn't just defend, but elevates. These practitioners were so consumed by their ritual, so convinced of their competence, they never considered that maybe they were playing checkers while your guardian was playing interdimensional chess. But it gets more interesting. The depth of your guardian's strategy becomes crystalline. Your guardian didn't just protect you in the moment. Your guardian arranged dominoes that will keep falling for years, creating ripple effects of consequences and revelations that will follow this coven for decades. When you interfere with someone under genuine protection, you don't just face immediate backlash. You enter a cosmic contract of cause and effect that continues unfolding infinitely. Your guardian ensured every member of that coven now serves as a living example, a walking testament to what happens when you target the wrong soul. They'll whisper about you for the rest of their existence, warning others, telling stories about the person they tried to curse who somehow became stronger instead of weaker. They'll use your name as a cautionary tale. Remember what happened when we went after that one. Let's never repeat that mistake. Your guardian transformed you into legend in their world, not through violence or vengeance, but through the simple act of letting the universe do what it does best. Correct imbalance, and while they're managing aftermath, while they're attempting to rebuild shattered confidence and repair their fractured circle, you're here, thriving, glowing, ascending, completely unbothered by their existence because you're too occupied becoming who you were always meant to be. Your guardian knew something else too. Something profound explaining why this happened exactly now. You were ready. Not ready meaning you invited this attack, but ready meaning your soul had reached a threshold where it needed one final test, one final confirmation of your transformation. Every hero's journey contains that moment where old enemies return one last time, where darkness makes one final attempt to drag you backward. Your response to that moment determines everything coming next. Your guardian orchestrated this entire scenario knowing you'd pass the test, knowing you'd remain unbothered while chaos swirled, knowing you'd keep building while others tried destroying, and in passing that test, in not even flinching when they came for you, you graduated to a power level most people never reach. You've entered the realm where attacks don't just deflect, they boomerang. where curses don't just fail, they reverse, where enemies don't just lose, they accidentally become your greatest promoters through their failed attempts. Your guardian didn't just save you from a curse, your guardian initiated you into a new tier of spiritual immunity, and these practitioners were simply unwitting participants in your elevation ceremony. Now let's discuss what's happening in their world currently, because this is where the story becomes deliciously poetic. That coven that assembled with such confidence, such certainty their combined power would suffice, that circle is fracturing in real time. Started small, subtle tensions, minor disagreements about methodology, personality clashes they'd normally ignore. But when their curse failed so spectacularly, when it not only didn't work but appeared to strengthen you, those cracks widened into canyons. Suddenly, everyone's assigning blame. Everyone has theories about the failure. Everyone secretly blames everyone else. The Coven leader, whoever initiated this catastrophe, they're hemorrhaging respect, people questioning their judgment, their knowledge, their authority. Whispers spreading about hidden past failures, other curses that missed, other rituals that flopped. The house of cards is collapsing because it was constructed on ego and illusion instead of genuine understanding, and the members are experiencing personalized hells, each custom designed by the universe to teach exactly what they need learning. Some are getting sick, nothing diagnosable but that profound, exhausting fatigue from fighting cosmic law. They wake tired, sleep tired, can't shake the heaviness settled into their bones. Others watching relationships explode, partners suddenly seeing clearly, friends creating distance, family asking uncomfortable questions about recent behavior, careers hitting mysterious walls, opportunities evaporating, projects failing, money flowing out faster than it enters. And the stubborn ones, those refusing to connect dots, insisting everything's coincidence, they're experiencing full karmic correction. Their lives becoming object lessons in what happens when you weaponize spiritual knowledge for petty reasons. But here's the beautiful part. The universe isn't punishing them cruelly. It's correcting them educationally, showing them in the most direct way possible that you cannot use energy to harm others without harming yourself exponentially more. Some will learn, will awaken, will use this experience as catalyst for their own transformation. They'll look back on this as the moment they learned real power comes from elevation, not degradation, from building, not destroying. Others will stay bitter, will blame you for their problems, will never admit they created their own suffering. But either way, your guardian ensured they'll never forget you. Let's go deeper into the psychology of their experience, because this is genuinely fascinating. These practitioners united around a common enemy, you, which created temporary purpose and power. But now that the curse failed, they're staring at each other, wondering who these people are and why they thought this was intelligent. The shared delusion shattered, the groupthink evaporated. Suddenly, they're individuals again, individuals forced to face what they've become, some experiencing genuine shame, that soul deep recognition they've acted from their lowest self, that they've become exactly what they claim to oppose. They're looking in mirrors, not recognizing the reflection, wondering when they became someone who would spiritually attack another human for no reason except jealousy. Others experiencing fear, visceral terror. Actually, because they've realized they don't understand energy like they believed. They've discovered their knowledge is superficial, their power borrowed, their confidence unfounded. That realization is devastating because their entire identity was built on being powerful practitioners, on being people who understand mysteries. Now they know they were playing with forces they barely comprehend, and that ignorance nearly destroyed them. The Coven's collapse isn't just about individuals, though. It's about the entire structure, the belief system, the methodology they employed. Group curses only function when everyone involved operates from genuine power, genuine knowledge, genuine understanding of cosmic law. But this coven operated from ego, from comparison, from the toxic belief that someone else's light diminishes their own. And the universe doesn't support that frequency, doesn't amplify that energy, doesn't cooperate with that intention. So when they channeled dark energy toward you, the universe examined their motivation, saw the jealousy and pettiness at the core, and said no, absolutely not. More than that, the universe decided to use this moment for house cleaning, to expose everyone in that circle misusing energy, treating spiritual practice like weaponry instead of a path to wisdom. Your guardian didn't just protect you. Your guardian triggered a purge, a spiritual reckoning rippling through their entire community, people waking up, asking questions, realizing they've been following leaders who don't actually understand what they're teaching. The whole ecosystem disrupted because they picked the wrong target, because they tried cursing someone genuinely protected, genuinely aligned, genuinely transformed. Now let's talk about you, because while all this chaos unfolds in their world, you're here living your best life, completely unbothered, completely unaware of half the drama because you're too busy ascending. That's the part that destroys them. The fact their curse didn't just fail, it failed so completely you don't even know it happened. You didn't feel anything, didn't notice disturbance, didn't experience even momentary discomfort. Why? Because your frequency is so elevated right now, so aligned, so crystalline clear that their murky intentions couldn't reach you. You're operating on a completely different plane, living in a reality they cannot access, vibrating at a level they cannot match. While they gathered speaking your name with malice, you were probably laughing with friends, creating something beautiful, planning your next move, completely protected by force. They couldn't comprehend even if they tried. Your guardian created a bubble around you so perfect, so seamless, you didn't even notice you needed protection.